today's tutorial on how to crochet a flower bookmark. So I have one here so you can see how it looks completed. It's a quick, lovely, simple little pattern that makes a really lovely gift, I think, for any book lover out there. So equipment that you'll need are 3 colours, one for the centre of the flower, one for the petals and one for the stem. So I'm going to create the same colour bookmark today. I am playing chicken a little bit with the pink yarn. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. You will require 2 hook sizes. The first hook is the one appropriate for your yarn. So I am using a DK cotton yarn here and I'm using a 4mm hook. When we get down to the stem, you will need to go down a hook size, whether that's half a hook size or 1 whole hook size. So I have a 4mm and a 3mm for today's tutorial. You will require some scissors to cut the yarn and a yarn needle to weave in the ends. So I'm just going to pop these bits over to the side and we can get going with the centre of our flower. So I've chosen a yellow colour for that. Now there are 2 ways that you can start this, either with a magic ring or by chaining 5 and slip stitching into the first hook. Now I'm going to go through them with you now, but if you need that slowed down, I do have a beginner's crochet series that you can have a look at to go through each step there. So to create a slip knot, we create an X on the finger, under the first loop, over the second, and remove the finger to pull up. That's how we get our knot onto the hook. Then to create our chain, we take the yarn over and pull all the way through that loop, and that is 1 chain. Yarn over 2, yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over, pull through 4, yarn over, pull through 5, and then we can slip stitch into the first chain there, and you can work into the center of that circle. Alternatively, you can take a magic ring. So with 2 fingers, take the yarn over so it's in a cross shape there. Take the yarn under the first loop, over the second, pull that through, and with the working yarn, which has fallen off my finger there, let me do that again. Take that round, we go under, we go over, we pull through, and then with that working yarn, we take the hook under and pull the yarn through to secure in place. And we're going to remove our fingers and we can work into our circle here. So working into our magic ring or your chain 5, which you've slip stitched to create that circle, we're going to take a half treble crochet. Now if you use US terminology, that's a half double crochet. So to take that, we're going to take the yarn over the hook into the magic ring or your circle, take the yarn over again and pull the yarn up through the circle, and we should have 1, 2, 3 loops on our hook. We take the yarn over again and we're going to pull that yarn through all 3 loops. So that's our first half treble. So yarn over into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over into magic ring, yarn over, pull up, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to create 2 more half. Oh, there we go. And 1 more. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over and through all 3 loops. Okay, so from there we want to tighten up our circle and slip stitch into our first stitch. So we take our hook through, take our yarn over, pull through and up, and there we go, and there we have our circle. pulling that in tight. So what we want to do then is cut our yarn. I'm going to pull that through and across. So we need to get our second petal colour. So wishing me luck here, I'm using the pink. So we want to take a slip knot on our hook. So we take that cross, take the hook under the first loop, over the second, and pull through, removing our fingers. So from there, we're going to take that hook through that stitch, and then we are going to pull the yarn through the loops there to slip stitch into place. And one thing I like to do, just to make sure it's nice and secure, because that's coming loose a little bit, is I'm just going to take a double knot at the back here to keep that nice and secure and in place. There we go. Okie doke. So from here we're starting our petal. So I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to work into this same stitch, and we're going to take 3 treble crochets, and if you're using US terminology, that's a double crochet. So we're going to take the hook over our yarn into the same stitch, hook over, pull up. We've got our 3 loops on our hook, but this time we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over, pull through the other 2 loops. So this chain 3 counts as your first treble, and then we have 3 treble crochets. So that was our first treble. So 1, this is our second treble crochet, and we're taking 1 more, so yarn over into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So it should look like we have 4 trebles here. Then to bring our petal back down, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to slip stitch. Now normally I'd go into the same stitch, but because this is our first one, you have a little extra bit if you did your slip stitch. So I'm just going to go into that one to complete this first petal. So sorry, we take our hook in to the stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on our hook there. There we go. So that is our first petal. Right, so we are moving on to our next stitch here, and we're repeating the same. So we're going to take 3, my hook's a bit old there. Right, so we want 3 chains, so yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. In that same stitch, we're going to take 3 trebles, so yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. Again, yarn over into the stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, and 1 more, yarn over into the same stitch, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Then we chain 3, yarn over through 1, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 3, and in that same stitch we're going to take a slip stitch. So pull that yarn through and through the loop there. So now we have our 2 petals. So moving on to our next stitch here, we're chaining 3. 1, 2, 3 I'm getting a bit worried about this yarn chicken. Let's see how we get on. Yarn over, and where are we? 4 left, so we're here. We go in and taking our first treble. So we've got our 3 loops, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. We take that 2 more times. And we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we slip stitch. So we're halfway through. We're going to have 6 petals all together. So we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, 2 more trebles, yarn over in, yarn over up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, 1 more, and we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, get to the end of that yarn there, and slip stitch in. We have 2 more petals to create, so chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 trebles into our next stitch here. We have 1 treble, yarn over for our second, yarn over, pull up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, last one, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch into that same stitch. And we have our final petal, and I'm okay with the amount of yarn that we have, so that's good. So we have 1, 2, and 3. 3 treble into that next stitch here, our last one. Pulling that through, we have 1 treble. Remember, I am using UK terminology, so this is a double crochet if you are more familiar with US terminology. 1, 2, 3, and then we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we can slip stitch into that same stitch there. Then I'm going to chain 1 to keep that secure in place, pull through, take our scissors, cut our yarn there, and tighten that up a little bit. So there we go. So that's looking good. Our yellow center and our pink petals. So our next course of action will be to weave in these ends. So to do that, you need your yarning needle. Thread through. Now these are the 2 that I created the double knot with. So for that, I'm not going to go overboard with the weaving in. I'm going to come back through here. I'm going to do this, that's at the bottom. Let's bring that down a little bit and come through here. There we go. And there we are. And then I can work my way around here. And as I double knotted it, I'm happy with that. And I've only got a little bit of yarn on this side. I didn't leave it quite long enough. So I'm just going to work my way back through. I'm going to go through the center of this first stitch and work my way back through. Again, I know that is secured with the double knot, so I would have done that one a little bit more. However, I don't have much yarn available and I'm going to cut them off so I remember what ones I've done. Those are the 2 that I've done. This is my center one, so I'm going to make sure that's nice and tight. Work my way one way round, and then work back on itself again. There we go. Cut you off, and then our last one is our pink one here. Oh dear. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Now, I mentioned earlier that I have used a DK cotton yarn, which I absolutely adore working with, but this will work with a variety of yarn, and the good thing about it is that it's a good little scrap yarn project. That's why I used the small amount of pink that I still had. It doesn't require too much yarn, so that's why it's a really lovely little project as well. And it just works up together so nicely. And these always sell really well at craft fairs, actually. And if ever I'm gifting someone a book, I will always put one of these with it as well. And I've just made a little bundle of thank you teacher gifts, and I've included these bookmarks in it as well. So it's a nice little project, I think. So that is our flower now done. So what we're going to work on now is our stem. So I'm going to move this to the side and work on our green colour. So the hook that works with this yarn for me is the 4mm, so I'm still working with that. I'm going to take a slip knot, so taking that X around one finger under the first piece of yarn over the second to pull through, and then I can remove my finger and tighten that up. Now, this is where it may vary depending on the size of the book and the yarn that you're using. So I'm going to be chaining 70. That is what works well, I have found, with the yarn that I'm using and a standard paperback book, but that may differ for you depending on the yarn that you're using. You may want it for a larger book, for a smaller book, so you might have to play around with that a little bit, but I'm going to be chaining 70. So we take that yarn over and pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through the loop. Now, if you're doing this with me, I'm going to count now. I've got everything listed, so if you want to fast forward, but I will lose track if I don't count. So if you want to stay and count with me, please do. If you need to fast forward until we've created our chain, then please do. So we have 3 chains there. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. We made it. Right. Now is the time where we swap to the smaller hook, because we're going to turn our foundation chain over, and can you see here you have the kind of V shape, which is your main stitch, but if you flip it over you can see these little bumps. Let me get my needle here. In here, so you see these bumps here, so we've got one here, one, I'm doing this left-handed, back bump here, another back bump here. Okay, so we want to count 3 of those back bumps. So there is 1, there is 2, and there is 3, and that would count as our first treble. So we want to go into the 4th back bump, which is here. So we're going to take that yarn over and go into that back bump, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we have that treble to count, 3 chains to count as our first treble, and then we've put a treble into that back bump. We want to do 2 more trebles into this. So we're going to take our yarn, if you're using US terminology, remember that that's a double. So take the yarn over into the back bump, yarn over, pull up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, and we're going to do that one more time. Yarn over into the back bump, yarn over up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. So then we're going to find our next back bump, which is here. You can see it there. So there's our next back bump. If I flip it over, you can see the kind of V shape of the stitch there. So we're taking 4 trebles now into this next back bump. So yarn over, and this is why we need a smaller hook, because it's a little bit tighter to get it through. And we're doing 4 trebles into here. So yarn over, in, yarn over, pull up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, and 2 more. Yarn over in, yarn over up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. How many have I done? 3, so I want 1 more. Yarn over and in, yarn over up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. So we have 4 trebles into that next stitch. I'm going to do that another 10 times, so that we have 11 times, sorry, so that we have 12 in total, 13 including this beginning one. So we're going to work into each back bump 3 treble crochets, but as it builds up, just be careful that you don't miss a back bump. You can see already that this is quite close. So this here is the back bump that we want to go into here. So it is quite close. You want to be careful that you're not skipping and moving along, because then that will make the end really long and you won't have as much of a stem to go into your book then. So careful that you're not missing a back bump. And I'll do 1 more with you, and then I will meet you once you've done your 13 in total, including this M1. So we go yarn over into that back bump. She says, oh, there it is. Yarn over, pull up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. That's 1. Yarn over in, yarn over up, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops. That's 2. There's 3. And there's 4. So I will meet you further down the line when we've done all for 13. So we've done 3 already, so we want 10 more in the next 10 back bumps for treble crochets. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so I've finished all of that, and I'm just going to show you how you can count here. So you can see that there's a little hole here where the back bump is with the 4 trebles attached. So it's quite handy to be able to see how many you've done. So I'm just going to pull this through, remove my hook to count with you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then my first one with the chain 3 for 13. So we don't want to stay on 13, we want to go into the next back bump. We're going to do 3 trebles this time. So yarn over into that back bump. There it is. 1 treble, 2 and 3. And then, like we did at the very beginning, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3 to act. I've missed a loop. Oh, I've gone through the middle of the yarn. Let's try that 3rd chain again. There we go. And we're going to slip stitch down there. So we are back down at the level of our stem. Now we are going to continue working in the back bump all the way to the end of our stem, and we're going to slip stitch into that back bump all the way down. So finding our next back bump, there it is. We take our hook through, yarn over, pull through the loop and through the loop on the hook. Take the hook into the back bump, yarn over, pull through, yarn and yarn through. That made no sense what I just said, ignore that. Hook through, yarn over, pull through the loop and pull through the loop on the hook. That is what I meant to say. That makes much more sense. And we're going to keep doing that slip stitch all the way to the end. In each back bump, slip stitch through. So I'm going to pause this video and meet you once we have completed all the slip stitches to the end of our stem. So I have now slip stitched all the way up the stem. I got a little bit ahead of myself, forgot that I was videoing, and I cut the yarn. Once you've slip stitched into your last back bump, take a chain, cut your yarn and pull through, and then from there I'm just going to secure that by placing a double knot in the end, so that is nice and secure. So what we want to do is attach this to the back of our petal, but what I want to do first is concentrate on the bottom, which looks a little bit funny. All you need to do is work from the end and just bring it in and kind of twist it round, and that will create that nice spiral shape. There we go. It does look lovely. I do love it. So what we want to do is attach this to the back of our flower. So taking our yarn needle and basically just finding a spot that you can work it on there, and securing that the best you can go through the middle and through the back as well. And then I can just weave this in the stem itself. I don't go too low down, I just try and keep it to how long the petals are. Back, up. There we go, like that. And then we want to do the same the other one. So, through the back. Trying to find a good spot. There we go. Up there. Oh, hello. Oh, there we go. Got it. Working my way back down, and we just want to make sure that this isn't going to be pulled off or go anywhere. So I'm going to go through the main stem and just the best you can, making sure that it's obviously not going to go through to the other side there. And then I'm going to weave that in through the back of the stem. There we go. And there you have it. A lovely little project, a really thoughtful gift for any book lover. It comes together really quickly, and as I say, you don't need too much yarn. I really enjoy making these. I really hope you found this tutorial useful and that yours turns out as a beautiful bookmark for yourself or someone you love. Thank you so much for joining me today, and happy crocheting!